And the parents of two of the young girls murdered in the Southport stabbing attack have said children need to be safer and protected. Speaking in their first TV interview, the parents of Elsie Dot Stancombe, who was 7, and 6-year-old Bebe King paid tribute to their daughters, calling them pure light, pure joy and fearless and brave. Well, last month, the government announced a public inquiry after 18-year-old Axel Rudakubana was sentenced for murdering 3 girls at the Taylor Swift-themed dance class and the attempted murder of 10 others. As well as Elsie Dot and Bebe, the other victim of the attacks was 9-year-old Alice da Silva Aguiar. Let's hear first from the parents of Elsie Dot Stancombe, who spoke to ITV's Good Morning Britain.
She was fearless, in a sense.
Oh, she was so brave.
Yeah.
She was really, really brave.
Our house is such a happy house. Every morning we shout to each other, go, "Good morning," and it's the way that we wake up every morning. And we always say we try our best today, we be our best, and you're better, aren't you? But affirmations.
Yeah, she loved it. She encouraged it, and she would be like, "Yeah, come on." And that was just her enthusiasm every day. It was just, that was Elsie.
If you saw the impact she'd had on others, you know, whether that be a cheer team at the school, her friends, or family friends, or family.
Elsie was like the glue of the family. She really was, and she was just, yeah, special.
But if we hadn't been there, it wouldn't have happened. I might not be here, but I would never have let that happen.
You'd fight to the death for your children, wouldn't you?
Yeah. 100%. God, I'd swap with Elsie any day. Yeah. I think there's an element of accountability. So if somebody's made a decision that has resulted in an element of failure, then there needs to be accountability for that. And I believe that the announcement of the inquiry will do that, and it will hold people to account for some of the decisions that they've made. At
the time, I didn't know what Prevent was, but, you know, since now I know he's had encounters with them. So it's, yeah, it goes without saying, but not. He's obviously come into contact with these services, and, you know, it doesn't bring Elsie back, does it? So.
That was Jenny and David Stancombe talking about their daughter, Elsie Dot, one of the victims of the Southport attack last July. Well, the parents of Bebe King have also been talking to Good Morning Britain this morning.
I think as parents, it's just really important for us to be able to remove Bebe from the past couple of weeks. And, you know, she was a human being. She was a beautiful, funny, crazy, gorgeous girl, and her legacy, it can't be defined by what's happened. I feel like a lioness, and I've got to protect my child, and I've got to make sure that people knew that she isn't defined by this. She was pure light. She was pure joy. It's just really important to us to make sure that people know, because obviously it has taken the nation, you know, everybody knows about it. That's got to be the lasting memory people have of our daughter. It can't be defined by what happened last week or what happened actually on the day. We just feel we have to do right by her, don't we?
Yeah.
I feel her around me all the time. Yeah. She's with me in every way. We both had a very special but very different bond. It was very personal to us, wasn't it? You had a very different relationship to what I did with her, but she was my mini-me.
Yeah, she was.
We thought that whatever she did, she was going to move mountains. She literally was. And I really, really hope that this isn't all for nothing.
Yeah.
And in spirit, she can still have an impression on the world, and she can help just the future, protecting children, and since day one, we've said to each other, we have to live for her.
Yeah.
We have to live how she would have wanted us to live, and make the most of our life, really.
Absolutely.
And it's quite important to us that, you know, we choose to push forward as much as we can, and with light and love, and just live the best we can.
For her.
For her.
Yeah, that's why we're here. You know,
Yeah.
that's why we want people to forget what was heard and listen to what we've got to say.
Yeah,
You know,
it's important.
That's what we want to say. We just want people to know how amazing she was, and not be defined by what happened.
Taylor Swift herself spoke out after what happened.
Yeah.
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 Have you had any direct contact or personal contact?
We met her.
Yeah.
Right.
She was back in Wembley, and she asked to meet us personally, and she was very lovely. It was quite overwhelming.
Yeah,
but
it was quite soon, wasn't it, after? But
yeah, but it was. I felt like we just needed to do it for Beebs, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was all these little glimmers that we had to try and find during those moments. We needed to find some light in the dark, didn't we? And
Absolutely.
it was just, and it was. I think generally the amount of people and just have reached out to us, and especially after it happened, like what our community did, it means so much to us.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it was.
what an amazing community we have. And it really did offer us comfort, and it still does.